Hello student, in the function series till now we have covered polynomial function, rational function, irrational function. In today's session we are going to discuss about piecewise function. In the piecewise function, these are basically divided into mainly 5 categories. So I will list down all those things, then we'll go one by one. Piecewise function. So the first function is called modulus function, and how it is represented? It is represented as mod x. Okay. The second one is important one, that is called signum function. So once you know about how the mod function behaves, then you can easily get to know how signum function behaves. So in the short form, it is written like the signum x. Then you have greatest integer function. Greatest integer function, that is called GIF as well, and this is denoted as, there are two ways to denote this thing. One is like put a big bracket, or this way. The fourth one is, that is called smallest integer function. How it is this is represented as small bracket or this way. And the last one is called fractional part of function. Fractional part function. It is represented as curly braces. So this is mainly 5 type of piecewise function. Why it is called piecewise? Because in the different domain, in the different value of x, this function behaves in a different way. So let's move to the first one, that is called the modulus function. So modulus function, it is represented as y is equal to mod x. So what does mod do? Mod basically makes if anything is negative, it makes it positive. So how it makes? So there are two value of x is possible. One is it can be positive or it can be negative. So suppose x is greater than 0 or equal to 0. In that case, it will not do anything. So in that case, this will become as x. When x is less than 0, suppose you put -2. So what will you do? -2 is multiplied by -2, it becomes positive. How it make it positive? Because you multiply by -1. So when you put x is equal to -2, so that value is multiplied by minus. So in that case, the resultant is your positives. So whenever you see mod function, you should always split into this manner to make it very simple thing. Suppose take some other example. Suppose your function is fx and it is given is mod. So what does it mean? Just split this function into in this manner. When fx is greater than 0, what will it behave it like? It will behave like fx. When fx is less than 0, it will be minus fx. So your mod of x will be split into this manner. Okay, let me plot the graph of the modulus function. So when x is greater than 0, what is it in this case? In that case, it is just simply y is equal to x. So you just plot y is equal to x. And when x is less than 0, this side, this is your y is equal to minus x. So this graph comes in V shape. So what is the domain of this? Domain is, you can see very clearly that it is R. For all the value of x, there is some y, and for range is, it's 0 included infinity. What is the solution set in this case? It's just 0, because for x is equal to 0, this graph is becoming, this value of y is becoming 0. So this is your mod x. Okay, the second function is the signum function. So signum function is written like this, signum function SGN. How it is defined? It is defined mod x by x when x is not equal to 0, and it is defined as 0 when x is equal to 0. There is another way to define this one, same thing, x upon mod x when x is not equal to 0, x is equal to 0, the value is 0. A third way to define this one, when x is greater than 0, it is 1. When x is equal to 0, it is 0. When x is less than 0, it is minus 1. Okay, so how do you plot this one? Let me plot. So when x is greater than 0, here the value comes as, so here it's just a round circle that is not filled up, so it is excluded basically. And for x is equal to 0, this is filled one, and again this one open one. So here the domain is again R, range is, in case of range, y can take only 3 values, 1, 0 and minus 1. So it's minus 1, 0, 1, that's all. Okay, solution set is again just one value, 0. For when x is 0, then only in case of y 0, so there is one solution set existed. So this is about signum function. Okay, in the greatest integer function, it is denoted as, so what does it do? It basically removes the fractional part of any number. So suppose you have given 2.3. So what will it do? It will remove 0.3. So it will become just 2. Suppose you have given 6.9. So it will remove 9.9. So it will become 6. But the point is when you give the negative one, suppose you have given 1.3. So why it is called greatest integer function? So if you plot a number line vertically, 0, 1, 2, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So minus 1.3 comes out somewhere here. So the value of greatest integer in this case, why it is called greatest integer? Because all the integer which is less than this point, so which are those integers? Minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, all these integer are less than this number. And which one is the greatest one? So minus 2 is the greatest one. So here the value is minus 2. In the same case also the same rule apply here as well. 2.3, all the integer which are less than 2.3, that is 2, 1, 0, and which one is the greatest one? That is only 2. So this is the greatest integer function. Hope you understand this thing, why it is called greatest integer function. Now one thing you also notice, like suppose you put number here between minus 1 and minus 2, so the greatest integer value goes to minus 2. In a similar manner, suppose you put any value here, it will go to 0. Suppose you put any value here, it will go to 1. So it always goes to the lowest side, floor side. So there is another name of this function that is called floor function. Floor function. Another name is called floor function because always it goes to the floor side in the vertical number line system. Okay, if you define greatest integer, how do you define? So this will give the value something like that. Suppose x is between 0 and 1. So this value will be 0. If x is less than 1 and greater than 2, if x is greater than 1 or equal to greater than 1 and less than 2, in that case the value will be 1. If x is less than 0 and between minus 1, so this value will be minus 1 and so on. This will keep on going. So here it will be 2. If x is minus 1 and minus 2, this will be minus 2. This value it will always come as an integer. Okay, now suppose you plot the graph of this plot the graph of this greatest integer function. So when x is between 0 to 1, when x is between 0 to 1, the value of y is 0. So this is, I can mark something like this. So this is your line, 0 to 1. When x is between 1 to 2, in that case, this value goes 1 to 2. But 2 is excluded, 1 is included. 2 to 3, something like that. When the value is between -1 and 0, what happens in that case? This is -1. So here it is -1. So in a similar manner, if the value is between -1 and -2, it is -2. So one thing you notice here, the graph of this function looks like a stepwise. So that's why there is one more name of this function, and that is called stepwise function. Okay, what is the domain of this function? If you see the domain of this function, domain is, it basically takes all the value of x, so it will be real number. What is the range of this function? Range of this function is, it is giving only integer value, so it is called z. What is the solution set? In this case, solution set, for what value of x y becomes 0. So here it's not one value, it's a basically range of value. So that is, you see, including 0 to 1 open bracket. So if you take any value between 0 to 1, including 0, excluding 1, this value will become, y will become 0. So this is called the solution set. So this is all about greatest integer function. Okay, in smallest integer function, how it is denoted as? It is denoted as this manner, or why it is? Because in the previous one, in the greatest integer function, it was at the lower side. That was basically a floor function, but here it is at the ceiling side. So how this smallest integer function is defined? Suppose you take as 2.3, and so value in this case. So again, what you do, you plot a number line 0, 1, 2, 3, -1, -2. So you plot this number on this line. So it is 2.3 somewhere here. So it will always goes to the roof side, ceiling side. This goes to ceiling side. In case of greatest integer, it was going to floor side. So here it is going to ceiling side. So the value will be 3. Suppose I give value something like that, 0.2. In case of smallest function, this value will become as, so here this point is somewhere lying between here 0 to -1. So the ceiling side will be 0. So if we plot the graph of this function, so between 0 to 1, it is always 1. Between 1 to 2, it is 2. And between -1 to 0, it is, okay. In a similar manner, when value is -1 to -2, this graph is something like that. -2. So in this case, what is the domain of this function? Again, it is R. What is the range of this function? It is again integer. And what is the solution set? In this case, solution set is -1 to 0. Okay, the last one is called the fractional part function. It is denoted as curly braces. And what is the meaning of this? it is like x minus greatest integer function x. So suppose I give value as 2.3. So x is 2.3 minus 2.3 greatest integer. So what is the value of greatest integer of 2.3? It will give just as a 2. So 2.3 minus 2 is equal to 0.3. Suppose you give value as a minus 0.2. So it will be as minus 0.2 and minus greatest integer 0.02. So minus 0.2 minus the greatest integer of the minus 0.2 is minus 1. So this will give as minus minus plus. It is coming as plus 0.8. So in the fractional part, if you plot the graph of this one, this gives something like that. It is 0 to 1. So 0 to 1, the greatest integer value is 0. So whatever the value is, that is x. So here it is 0 to 1. From 1 to 2, from 1 to 2, from 1 to 2, this value will be 1. Okay. So suppose you give 1.2 to 1.2 minus 1, it is 0.2. Okay. So this graph, if you put all the points, so it will look something like that. And when the x is negative, so what is the domain? The domain of this function? Domain is your R, and range of this function is 0 to 1. It will never become 1. It is open bracket. So this is the fractional part of the function. So with this part, we have finished algebraic part of the function. In the subsequent lecture, we will see the transcendental part, that basically comprises your all the trigonometry, inverse trigonometry, exponential and logarithmic function. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you liked it. Thank you.